Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 15th through the 21st. During that time, we will have a waning gibbous moon, and that's a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth, a good time to make positive changes and just kind of get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, that sort of thing. We then move into the last quarter on the 19th, and while that that reflection kind of continues into that, then the last quarter day is a really good time to let go of what no longer serves us. Um, Kind of get ready for the new beginning that's about to go. So taking responsibility for past actions and just kind of letting go of things, right? This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is meditate and contemplate. So, definitely goes along with the moon energies that we have going on. As you kind of reflect on things that have been going on in your past month or so, your past cycle. So, and Libra, since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel. It's super, super easy for you to do. I will make the reminder that you do need to be logged into Google or YouTube to subscribe to channels. So there was a time when I didn't know that. So some of you may not know that. But anyway, make sure you're logged in and hit that subscribe button. And I will let you do that right now while I'm shuffling. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I appreciate you. All right, without further ado, let's get right into this reading. Actually, we will talk about my weekly reminder this week is that you pay attention to synchronicities in the universe. If you're open to noticing those, it's almost like a new language that opens up to you once you start paying attention to them. So this could come in the form of an animal that you encounter or, something in nature. I know yesterday I got to see blackbirds chasing a squirrel through trees and the squirrel hiding and the blackbirds being very patient about it. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen when it comes to squirrels and blackbirds. So the fact that I got to witness this and witnessed it for so long, like it was a story that played out to the point where I was like, I can't believe how patient blackbirds are. Like they were really waiting for the squirrel to come out and get a piece of him. I thought, wow, did he eat eggs or what did he do? But, I walk away from witnessing an event in nature like that and think, oh, is there some way in my life I'm supposed to be applying that? And who am I in that story? Am I the squirrel? Am I about to get attacked? Or do I need to be have the patience of the blackbird? So I honestly still haven't figured it out and I will be thinking about it all week. This will be on my mind, but those kind of synchronicities, I don't think they're accidents. They're reasons, there are reasons that they're there and they're there for our growth. So anyway, my reminder this week is that you pay attention to those things around you because it's a whole language and it's just things that are laid out to give you clarity on your unique path. All right, Libra, your overall present energy, Ace of Swords. So some sort of aha moment is probably going to come out of this meditation and contemplation that you're doing. So I'm not sure what you're thinking about, what you're meditating about, even if it's anything specific. It might be for some of you, for some it might just be in general, that you're just kind of, wondering where your life needs to go and what direction. So it looks like you are going to have some sort of aha moment. Something comes to you. That's an idea to kind of, like one of those little light bulbs, like, oh, I didn't think of this before. So that's pretty exciting this week. Your current situation is the Six of Wands. So looks like you are moving forward in a very calm manner. And this to me is moving forward into new thoughts, new ideas, new ways of thinking, but you're doing it in very calm waters, and this is also, this to me is like a card of meditation that you're quiet and you're thinking, here's moves I want to make. Here's who I want to be in the future, so what are those thoughts and ideas? And it looks like something does come to you, which is pretty awesome. At the root of your situation is the Eight of Cups. So also a card. Look, now we've got two cards of people moving towards the future, right? And it's funny, I was reading some cards for some people over the weekend, and they were all in their 20s, and both of these cards came up a lot. So this could be, and I was trying to explain to them that these cards have changed like this, where you're thinking about the future and making bigger changes. This is something that in your 20s, this happens all the time. This is something that's every few months your life is changing, and I was explaining to this one girl, I told her, I said, that changes in your 30s. These moments start to get further, as you make decisions and do things in your 20s. These big decisions and these big seeking kind of things kind of changes in your 30s, where it's a little longer of a cycle. And then in your 40s, the cycle is even longer, as you know. So as you go through time, of course you're seeking and you're doing things and making changes, but those cycles do tend to kind of stretch out over time. So for some of you, you might be in your 20s, and this might be a cycle that's coming up quite a bit for you as you make changes and adjustments and learn how to live your life. So totally, totally normal. In your recent past is the Six of Pentacles. So Five of Pentacles. I don't know why I said six. Maybe I was looking at this one here. Five of Pentacles. So this is kind of feeling like an outsider. And because it's Pentacles, is it, in the material realm where you're feeling like an outsider? Is that something that you've been feeling recently or in your recent past? And this could be, when I see this card, I think of, are you comparing yourself maybe financially to someone else, or maybe you're comparing your home, if you're in an apartment, well, my apartment's not as nice as so and so's over there, or you're near a friend that seems to have a better handle on things when it comes to finances or where they live or what, whatever. And that also happens in any phase of everyone's life. So, but what do they say about comparison? It's the thief of joy. Where are you right now? Are you in a happy place? And if you're not, you just have to think these future thoughts, these things that are going to get you to the place where you're not going to compare anymore. You're making those decisions for you, and we're not going to look around at other people and not be happy with the choices that you have made, right? What is on your mind this week is the Three of Wands. So, this is a card of new ventures. Are you thinking about some new venture? Are you thinking about maybe some sort of travel or something? Some of you might be thinking about vacation, but some of you may be thinking about the future and thinking, I do need to make some changes here. Here's yet another card here where the back is to us. So this is you moving forward. You're making decisions and having ideas about how you want to move forward, which is awesome, Libra. That's great. In your future, just ahead of you here, is the Ten of Swords. So an ending comes here for you, and an ending in a way that's a mental ending, right? This is and communication, because this is air energy, and I would say that this is the end of a certain way of thinking, that maybe you are going to start afresh, start anew. You're going to start off on a new venture, a new way of being. You're going to definitely be over with some old way of thinking that's not really serving you. And this is the perfect time, again, this on the last quarter, that's when we try to get rid of those types of things, kind of do that evaluation and say, this thing is no longer serving me. I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not working. I really need to do new habits to not do this thing that's not working for me anymore. But it's a really good time for you to do that. And it looks like that's inevitable for you. In your advice position is the King of Swords. Look at all the swords on the table. So your advice is to become knowledgeable about this idea that you're having, okay? This new way of thinking that you're having. And because of this ending, I would say the knowledge part is going to come in on, if you're talking about breaking an old habit, just an old way of thinking, and it could just be a negative thing that you continue to think. And if once you realize that you're actually manifesting it, because that's how manifestation works, whatever is present in your mind all the time, that's the thing that you get. Okay. So once you realize that, and maybe you're in a place right now where you're learning that, and you're like, oh, I'm actually bringing in, and I'll use the example of, let's use it as a business example for a minute. Let's say you have a business, and business has slowed down for you, and if that's in your mind, you just constantly, well, business is slow. Well, the longer you continue to think business is slow, it will be slow. If you can change that way of thinking, and just for a couple of weeks, say, business is picking up. I'm so busy right now. And it's kind of fake it till you make it, right? So the King of Swords is about becoming knowledgeable in that way to change what you're thinking, the way you speak, the way you think about things, but it's also affecting the people around you. This is affecting your kingdom. This is having the knowledge to do this so that now not just you are saying, oh, business is picking up, but your cohorts are like, oh, yeah, business is picking up. It's kind of a group thing that makes you manifest even quicker when it's in a group. So that's your advice, is to go ahead and make those changes, but have the knowledge. Like, really, when you're doing this, when you're kind of in this meditate and contemplate mode, and this idea that comes to you, and again, I'm using business as an example, but this really is in any way that you want to change your life. um this is the key to just really finding the knowledge. On Once you kind of narrow that down, is really do the work and read and study. And how do I do that? How do I change this thing about my personal life? What is beyond your control this week is the Seven of Pentacles. So here we are feeling like an outsider with these pentacles. And, I use manifestation in business as an example. And beyond your control is to plant those seeds. And this is all you can do, is wait for them to come forth. You can't, they're growing. You have to wait for the harvest. You can't harvest them yet, but do the work. Do the work so that, so that you do manifest. If it is new business, that it will come in. It'll come in next week or the week after. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the Hermit card. And so, meditate and contemplate. Boy, there's the card for that. If it is your secret desire to do that this week, it's a really good time for you to do it. If you're trying to avoid it, that's just a question you need to ask yourself, is why don't I want to look inside? What is going on with my life that I don't want to look inside to make changes? I feel like most of you are going to be on that. This is your secret desires, that you want to take a minute and minutes this week, not just a minute, but you want to take some time to be able to go within, to meditate, to contemplate, some time alone. This could be just, maybe if you can get away, I mean, it's on your mind. If you can, go to a quiet place for a day or two, take a day off work, maybe just get in nature, but take that time to really just seek within, to ask yourself these questions. What is it? What is it that I want to change in my life, and where do I want to go? In your outcome position is the Magician. I love this. I love that if you take this time, here comes the Magician asking you, well, what do you want here? Do you want to change it in your emotional realm? Do you want to change it in your pentacle realm, in your worldly realm? Is it, about your intellect and your, this sword energy, this communication, or is it about passion? So if you take the time to kind of go within and do that, here comes the Magician to say, hey, what do you want? What do you want to do? Because that's the card of manifestation. That's you manifesting whatever it is that you want. What is hidden from you this week this is interesting, is rest and meditation. So it may be a struggle for you to get there. But it seems like everything is pointing to that's really what you need to do this week, Libra, is meditate, contemplate. You've got the Hermit here, the four. This is also a card of rest and meditation, and it's kind of hidden from you. So it might be, you might have to really work at getting yourself to a place. And sometimes that's not even about having just the physical space or time to do it. It's about slowing your mind down. That can be an issue that I have, that it's like, okay, I want to meditate and my mind is just, I'm thinking about all the other things that need to be done, or things I haven't done yet, or just take a breath, be in the moment as much as you can. And if you need guided help, there's plenty of guided meditations on the internet. Put some headphones on and let other people help guide you into that relaxation. Sometimes I need that as well when my brain is super, super busy. All right, let's get a final message here for Libra from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Libra. Count your blessings. Yep, having an attitude of gratitude in this manifestation mode is also very, very important. So love that card in this reading. Refine your attention. So, and that's what I'm talking about with the meditation. And if you need help, get that kind of help. Like I said, there's guided meditations online. If it's not something that maybe you're a little distractive or distracted when you're trying to meditate. I certainly have times where I can't, and I use a guided meditation, and they're awesome. It's very awesome. You just feel so much, you feel so refreshed after. So Libra, I wish you the best of luck with this. With really searching on things that you need to do to manifest and making positive changes in your life. I love this reading. I love everything about it. I do appreciate your time here with me today. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, how do you meditate? Do you have trouble meditating? Is it something that you practice all the time, or is it something, that's new for you? But let me know. Again, if you like my reading style, of course, please hit like and subscribe. It helps my channel so much, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Libra. Good luck with this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.